guys, welcome back to the channel. This episode will be more of an update of what I've been working on the last few weeks, so stay tuned. So right now I'm working on finishing the area above the rear doors, and I make a little shelf for this. And I'm not going to make a whole video on this because I already have a full video on it, and I'll put a link in the description down below, so after this you can check out the video of this being finished. But here it is when it's done. I haven't got to this section yet, but when I do, I'll put a piece of carpeting over this to cover this, like I did over here. And I haven't put the crown molding up here yet because first I need to put the cabinets in. Once the cabinets are in place, then I'll know the distance of the crown molding. Next, I'm going to finish the rear doors. So I've got a 2x2 over here. I'm going to cut down the size and put right in the middle there. Then I'll use some of those metal L brackets I've used before to attach them. And then we'll insulate it and then use the same wood as the ceiling to cover it up. And I have a whole video on this as well that I've showed in detail how to do this. So I'll put a link for that in the description down below if you want to see all the details of how I did this. Okay, you can see here I added the support beam here. And because the door is curved, you can see I had to follow that curve, cut the wood like that, and then I just added these brackets here, one on each side, and that's pretty strong. So now we can start putting the paneling up and stuffing some insulation behind there as we go. This one I'm going to put one coat of paint on before I put it up, just so I don't have to cut in later and paint this part. So normally I don't paint these before I put them together, but because it's only 3, I think it'll be fine. I'm going to put it all up as one piece. And that's also why I painted this one before I put it up, so I wouldn't have to cut around this door and everything. It would have been impossible. And you can see it's already got the one coat of paint here. And then once it's up there, it'll get another coat. that's what that looks like all finished off. The other thing I did back here was take off these two panels and I put some of the insulation in there. And I'm just gonna finish off and pull this panel off and insulate behind there as well. I think next thing we'll do is the finished floors. Alright, you can see the floors coming along here. Just got this one last piece right here. So I've got the propane shut off. So I'm going to remove the fitting. That way I could cut a smaller hole in this last piece, slide it over the top, then I could put the fitting back on. And then just one more skinny piece along the edge here. And then we'll put that trim piece, that aluminum trim piece over the top. Last piece is in. Piece around the propane valve is in. I just need to cut down the aluminum angle there. Give it a nice trim piece. Before I do that, I'm just going to paint this with some gray paint. It'll be a little easier to paint it now before I put the trim piece on. Alright, trim piece is in, all finished off. And now that the floors are in, I was able to put that last bottom piece there of the walls. I just have to fill in the screw holes, sand it, and paint it. But it's looking pretty good. Doors are done. And all the trim work is done. Alright, well, like I said, this was just going to be an update episode. The next episode, I'll be working on all of the electrical and solar equipment over here and building in a nice cabinet to house it. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on that episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.